going. All right, morning everybody. Okay, tell me something good. Who hit their 20 contacts yesterday?
24.
All right, talk to us about it. Who did you talk to? How did those conversations go?
It was a lot of friends. Visit to a couple of stores. So I don't know if we'll have any real leads out of it, but 3 strangers added to my database. So
Beautiful. And under what circumstances did they agree to become part of your database? Walk us through that real fast.
I wear shirts sometimes that are kind of funny and have to do with, like yesterday was, I don't know if you've ever seen The Sandlot.
Yeah.
But Squints, the big glasses. So I wore that shirt and they were asking about it. And I just got to talking. And so that was kind of what it was about. So
Just anything to start the conversation, right?
yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So I have a whole collection of shirts I'm just going to start wearing now.
All right. And you can wear like a KW hat or something like that so people can recognize you as a realtor.
Yeah, exactly.
Now remember, when you do that, you got to be behaving a certain way.
Right.
I always find it funny when somebody's got their like business decal or whatever on their car and they drive like crazy, right?
Yes.
They run the lights. They don't stop at the stop things. They honk their horn. Hey, what's going on?
We've been in that business before.
Yeah. Okay. Who else? Good job, Brian. Really good job. Who else hit their 20 contacts yesterday? Talk to me about that. Liz, talk to us about your experience.
I actually hit 30.
Awesome.
Well, yesterday I was trying to get my database together. And so I was reaching out to a lot of people asking for email addresses and this and that. And so I got about 30 contacts get back to me yesterday.
Cool. Do you think any of those are any of those in kind of that, did they share that they have a real estate goal for this year that you might be able to help them out with?
A couple did. Actually, I reached out to one yesterday, a former player of mine, and she said, Coach, I've been meaning to call you. I found a house I like, and we're going to look at it today.
Huh. How about
and then yesterday, a couple of people have said, yeah, I want to buy in the next year. So that's great, So
don't remember that whenever they say what they want to say,
yeah,
you want to go a little deeper. So
okay.
Is there anything unique about, like, what's special about a year?
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Is there anything that's particularly special about a year? So for example, are they trying to work on their credit? Have they determined that they need a year to save up the appropriate amount of down payment? Are they in a lease? Right. Their divorce will be final in a year? Like, what's special about a year?
Okay.
Because what you might find is that's completely arbitrary, right? And then you can use some of the buyer urgency scripts that are in the agent pivot scripts file, right?
Okay.
And let them know, hey, we got record low interest rates right now. Just out of curiosity, if you were to help me understand what you want and I were to show it to you, would you consider purchasing now? Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Because what you're trying to do is match their level of urgency with your level of urgency. Right.
I did talk to her about this is a phenomenal time to buy because of the low interest rates, but I should have asked her what the reason was first, dove a little deeper first.
Because when you ask that question first, this is not meant to pick at you.
Yeah, it's fine.
But when we say it's a phenomenal time to buy without first knowing what their specific situation is, then it sounds salesy.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Right. Yep. When you know what their specific situation is, and then you can connect that situation with some evidence in the marketplace that might be more strategic for her to do something now.
Got it.
Then it sounds consultative.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's really important that you go a little deeper, because what you might find is, I thought spring was a good time to buy, so I just wait until next spring. Oh, well, goodness, that's a crappy excuse. Let's get out there.
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So the question is go a little deeper, find out what their true motivation is.
Okay.
Okay. Good
Yep.
work though. 30 contacts. Good work, you guys. Okay, who else? If you didn't get to 20, that's cool. Tell me about your experience. Who else wants to share something?
I wrote an offer last night.
All right.
Woo!
Paperwork is good. Talk to us about that, Kathy. How'd you find that person?
A past client introduced us, and this is the one I put on the WhatsApp on Saturday. Them, wanting to look at a house and sell a house. So we wrote the offer last night. We're doing the listing agreement today. Pictures tomorrow, and it's not accepted yet, but I know we're going to get it worked out. There's no doubt we'll get it worked out.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's share one or two more new things, and then I got a bunch of content I want to go over with you guys today. Who had some positive experiences yesterday?
Well, I didn't reach 20, but I did reach 16. I was reaching out to people to let them know about my homebuyer seminar, and then following up with them by sending them the Zoom link and a flyer to share with other people. So didn't quite get to 20, but I was happy with 16.
Cool. Can you just take 30 seconds or so to tell people what you're doing with respect to the home buyer seminar, please?
Sure. Well, my daughter works in a childcare facility. She's an assistant director, and she works with a lot of teachers who are spending a lot of money on rent. I mean, like $1,400 a month, some of them. So she's in her 20s, and she owns her own home, and she shared with her coworkers that she's purchased her own home on her own as a single woman. And so they've expressed some interest in home ownership, and I thought it would be a good idea to have a virtual seminar where I could just walk them through the home buying process. And I have Tammy Mills from Shelter Mortgage is participating.
Awesome.
And we're just going to provide information. And I'll let them know that I'm available to work with them and to answer any questions that they have, even if they're not ready right now. At least I'll have them in my database, and I can follow up with them and send them information going forward. And there may actually be some folks that are ready right now. But it's kind of a pilot for me. It's something I'd like to do on a regular basis, and maybe reach out to different apartment complexes in Roswell and Alpharetta. So who knows?
I love that idea. So can I give you a suggestion on that? You may already have this ready to roll, but let's throw it out there anyway. So where is this facility? Where is this care facility?
Here in Roswell, right near 400.
So what I would suggest is if you believe that the guest on that Zoom are going to be renters that are renting, let's just say somewhere in the $1,400 neighborhood, what I want you to do is go to Tammy and say, if the mortgage payment was 14,
okay,
right, how much is that going to give me? What's my purchasing power, right? Then I want you to go find a property not too far away from the facility and say, hey, look, you got to live somewhere. Okay, so here's a couple of options. Number one, you can rent, and this is what you'll get. Number two, you could purchase and then go through the process of purchasing and down payment and all that stuff. You also may want to ask Tammy if there's anything special like teacher related loans. Sometimes they have that stuff, right? Or you could say, well, that'll allow you to buy a $200,000 house. And what do you know? Here's a $200,000 home. Let's look at some pictures. See what I'm saying?
right. I've already looked into down payment assistance too for teachers. The Georgia Department of Community Affairs has Georgia Dream, and they actually have a $7,500 down payment loan available. So I have information on that.
Beautiful.
And there is a slide in my presentation that shows the difference between and it uses the example of $1,200 a month, but if you're spending $1,200 a month towards a mortgage over 30 years, how much you're paying, but that asset is actually worth well above what you've paid over 30 years compared to what you would be paying in rent over 30 years, what that amounts to, and you own nothing after that. And that's given that that rent never increases over that 30 years, which is totally, absurd. That's unlikely.
Yeah,
So
okay,
it's a real, it's very impactful in my opinion.
cool. And then I would add one more suggestion is add, you remember a couple weeks ago, we talked about the, according to, I think it was 2018's research, I forget the name of the organization that did it, but they said that the average net worth of a renter is about $5,200, and the average net worth of a homeowner is about $243,000.
Mm-hmm.
Did everyone
Right.
hear that? The average net worth of a renter, hello. The average net worth of a renter is $5,200. That's like not even half of what it costs to put you in the ground, right? And the average net worth of a homeowner is $243,000, right? Okay, good job, Donna. We've had a few comments here asking either for the slide or that, can you share that sliding scale? And maybe the invite link. So I don't know how you feel about us being on the call. Of course, if anyone's on.
Not this one. It'll make me too nervous. The next one. This
right.
is kind of like my trial run, but
Okay.
absolutely the next one, I will open it up to anyone. I just want to get through this first one. I'm a little nervous. I did a practice run last night with my family. I'm going to do another one tonight, just because there were some, little bumps.
Good job.
So,
Preparation. Good job.
yep. Thank you.
I have the link. Can I make a surprise appearance? I'll keep my mouth shut.
I'd rather you didn't. You
Okay.
especially make me nervous. I don't know why, but there's something about you that makes me nervous.
I don't know whether
I promise I'll invite you next month.
All right, I'll delete the link. Okay. All right, I want to tell you guys about something. I'm in a class right now called Maps Models. It is basically taking all of the models of Keller Williams, from leadership to MREA to MREA2 to basically all the models, the one thing, and putting them into an organized delivery so that we can kind of put them all together. And yesterday was the first day. It's a 4-day session with 4 days of like private work. And it's awesome. It is awesome. It's all virtual, obviously. It's $199. I get it for free because I'm a Mastery client, but I'm going to be pouring into you guys over the next couple weeks probably with some of the material I've learned. And I want to go over a couple of topics from yesterday. Okay. One thing that I found was really important. Do you remember when we posted the schedule of a kind of an entrepreneurial real estate agent versus the schedule of a purposeful real estate agent? I will, this is worth bringing up. I'm going to share my screen really fast. Uh-oh. Okay. Can you guys see my screen with this schedule here?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the, oops. Okay. This is what I would consider a entrepreneurial agent schedule. Okay. This is, kids carpool. I'm going to get the oil change. Hopefully we'll do some lead gen. I've got a bridge group in the middle of the day. Got this closing, Gens 4-in-1, whatever that is, a Pilates class. Lead generation is not at the same time each day. It's completely erratic, and on Friday it's only 30 minutes. You got take in printer, appointments and errands, gym to dentist, lunch with Bob, yoga in the middle of the day, kids to the beach on Friday. They're only going to work a half day. It's very erratic, okay? And when you have erratic schedule, you're going to have an erratic pipeline and you're going to have erratic results, okay? So here is the alternative. This is what they called a perfect agent schedule. Lead gens at the same time every day, right? You have pre-designed slots for appointments. And I'm not saying you can't have work-life balance. Please don't hear that. But you should be doing as much that is not business related outside of business hours, right? Don't forget that you're a full-time real estate agent that's got big goals, and we want to make sure that we're strategic around our time. One of the things that we talked about, hang on one sec. One of the things that we talked about yesterday is that we are not in the business of selling homes, surprisingly. We are in the business of following our schedule, okay? And it is absolutely critical that you have time in your schedule for lead generation, lead follow-up, and any other non-real estate commitments that you have. Please don't hear that I don't think you should have non-real estate commitments, but you got to understand that we don't want it to be at the expense of the time that you're trying to create clients and move clients through the process, okay? One of the things that the instructor said yesterday was they said, when somebody asks for your time, instinctively, this should be your response. Let me check my schedule. Let me check my schedule, right? Because successful people are not created by what you say yes to. They're created by what you say no to, or what they say no to, okay? Everyone hear that? Successful people are not built by what they say yes to. They're built by what they say no to, okay? So we're in the business of following our schedule. And when you say, let me check my schedule, what you should be thinking to yourself is, I'm about to say yes to something. Now, will that cause me to say no to my business? Right? What am I saying no to as a result of me saying yes to this? Okay. So the question should say to yourself, is this going to be in support of my business and in support of my goals and in support of my daily priority? Or is it have nothing to do with that? Okay. And the attitude that you should be having is, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner. Oftentimes, a lot of us in the group right now are building a business from the ground up. We're busy, right? We should be super, super stingy with our time, right? And other people's emergencies and lack of planning and drama is not your issue. Your issue is doing what you know you have to do every day, right? So if that's exercise, dropping the kids off, making the calls, following up, that kind of stuff. Make sense? Then she started talking about this idea of commitment. Okay. What is commitment? Let's actually make this a slight bit interactive. When I say the word commitment, what do you hear? What do you think that means?
Following through.
Okay. What else?
Sticking with something.
Say that one more time, Ashley.
Sticking with something.
Okay. And what about how serious is that? Like when I say I'm committed to something versus I gonna try to be committed to something, what do you hear there? Let me give you an example. Ebony,
There's doubt.
if I said to you, I'm thinking about getting married to you, and I'm not necessarily fully committed to staying faithful, but I'm going to try.
You already have plans to fail. Like when you put that word try in there, that changes the whole concept of what you're saying that you're going to do.
Okay, I agree. So commitment means like no matter what, the issues of the day are not going to get in the way of a commitment. Is that right?
Right.
No issue of the day is going to get in the way of a commitment. Right? So you're committed to eat every day, right?
Yeah.
Are you committed to go to bed every night?
Yes.
Are you committed to take your medicine? Are you committed to feeding your kids? Are you committed
Yes.
to paying your mortgage? So what in a business perspective are you committed to? I'm not saying commit to 20 deals a year or 20 contacts a day or anything crazy. Start small. Are you committed to having 5 real estate conversations a day? Meaning, I'm not hitting the sack until I talk to people. I don't care if I have to go to Target in the middle of the night to do it. What am I committed to? Not I'm going to try to be committed, or if nothing pops up, I'll be committed. But what is non-negotiable? Make sense?
Yes.
And as you get closer and closer to adopting some of these ideas of commitment and getting more and more comfortable with it, you might say to yourself, well, I'm looking at the sheet that Bill and I created together, and it says I have to go on 1 appointment a week. How committed to that goal are you? Is it like a, I'll try to be faithful type of commitment? Or is it a, there is absolutely no way I'm not committed to this woman, and I wouldn't dare, that the thought wouldn't even cross my mind of not being faithful to her, right? Or to not having that appointment per week. Does that make sense? So what are you committed to? When you look at your sheet, when you look at your goals, your business goals, your personal goals, your family goals, financial goals, where can you draw the line and say, I'm committed to this? Anyone want to volunteer a commitment? Okay, I know I kind of sprung that on you. That's okay. I'm committed to be here at 8:30 every day. It's not too personal.
Yeah, you are.
You can commit to like turning on the video for your Zoom calls every day. It could be small. It's okay, Kathy. I know you're driving. That's not a hit on you.
I'm actually driving, so I keep hitting my mute button so y'all can't hear the car, but I'm driving, so
I know you
I'm on my
are.
way to show houses.
Okay.
But I usually have my video on.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. All right.
Hey, I'm committed to doing anything and everything possible to support my daughter.
Beautiful.
Whatever I got to do to get that done, that's my commitment.
I think that's all. Good for you.
I'm committed to making $200,000 in the last half of the year.
Nice, Kathy. I'm committed
Terryville
to your partner.
inspires me.
What was the last thing you said?
Terryville inspires me. I used to run my business kind of like Terry does, and I got away from it, and I'm getting back. I'm going to focus back on that rather than just making calls. It's in-person relationships.
There you go. Kathy's been taking that idea of surprise and delight to heart. Why don't you give us an example of how you've surprised or delighted somebody this week?
Okay, well, I'm dropping off. Next week, I'm dropping off watermelons because I grew up in the watermelon capital of the world. But I've been dropping off key lime bars, alcohol, oatmeal cookies, and I'll tell you, they're so happy to see you. And really, these people, the offer that I wrote last night, it's from somebody that I like at least once a month. I surprise and delight them and their kids. So they built a pool last year. I furnished the beer for the pool party, you know, and I stay in touch with these people, and it's going to be like $1.2 million deal.
Wow.
But
these are just people in your database you're referring to, right?
Yeah. Yes. I sold their house 2 years ago, and they helped to buy another house. And anyway, it's just, and I'll tell you, they surprised and delighted me when they said, hey, we want to look at their friend said, hey, we want to look at this house. So, and then we made an offer. So,
yeah. I mean,
stay in touch with them.
You could surprise somebody by let's say I've got a client and I helped that buyer buy a home for 280 3 years ago. And now there's a new listing in their neighborhood for 340 or something. And I send them that picture of the listing and say, oh my gosh, look how much money you've made, right?
Yeah.
Or gosh, the real estate market is hot. Isn't this awesome? Right? It's not salesy. It's simply making sure they know you're thinking about them. Right? So how can you surprise and delight somebody every day? Are you committed to that? Will you commit to surprising or delighting and delighting, let's say, one person a day? Can you do
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing 2 people a day.
Yeah, unexpected for one person that you know each day, and make it a very personal touch? As a matter of fact, let that be our play for today. So what I'd like for you to do is surprise and delight in a unique way, whatever speaks to you, somebody in your world today. Okay, it doesn't have to be a real estate person. It can be anybody, but I'd like for you to do it and then share the story on our chat. Okay. Okay, couple quick updates. Number one, do not forget that we have the Growth Mastermind today from 4 to 5. And we have on Thursday, remember the all group session is from 3 to 4. And for at least the first 30 minutes of that, we're going to have Peggy Connors on. Peggy Connors is one of our top agents. She is the #1 real estate agent in the Country Club of the South. And she has been in the business for like around 6 years or so. Really impressive corporate background prior to that. And she's just doing phenomenal. So she's going to talk about her journey and her business. She's really involved in KW Luxury, so I'm going to have her chat about that a little bit as well. And then on Friday, I just confirmed this yesterday, Kim Hutchins is going to be our lunch guest, if you will, or pseudo lunch guest. That's going to be from 12 to 1 on Friday. Kim has been at the office for about 8 or 9 years. She's currently on the ALC, Agent Leadership Council. She's had some experience working with teams. She's had some experience growing her team. She is also the, I might butcher the exact title of this, but she is our office's chair for like the diversity task force that is meeting on a regional level and likely an international level to deal with some of the diversity challenges we are all dealing with right now. Share the concerns and the needs of our people with the people who are, for lack of a better way to put it, can do something about it. Okay, so she's going to come and tell her story from 12 to 1 on Friday, and then from 1 to 2, we're going to do another round of the Launch Mastermind. Okay, and I want to leave you with this topic, or actually two further ideas. Number one is, remember when you're talking to all these people, when you come from curiosity, everything just seems more easy, right? It's like what Liz and I were talking about earlier.
Yep.
So tell me, I'm just curious, what's unique about 1 year, right? Does that sound salesy, or does that sound like a curious person that is maybe even like a friend level, right? I'm just curious, where were you planning to move had your home sold with your first agent, right? Why was that important to you? Well, why was that important to you, right? So just always remember to come from curiosity. Like I was speaking to Brooke about this the other day, pursuing an expired listing, right? So tell me, where were you planning to move, right? Get them talking about what they were hoping for so that you can ultimately be the solution. Because right now, they don't have a solution, right? So when you know what their motivation is, or you know what their fear is, you know what they're afraid of, or what their concern is, then you can bring in some personalization and individualism to that need and the services that you provide. Does that make sense? Also, just one more thought on the schedule is we were told yesterday that when you say, let's say somebody wants to meet with you at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we all know that is really lead generation time, right? We should be on the phone creating clients or in person creating clients at that time. So somebody wants to meet at 10 o'clock in the morning. If you say, well, actually, I'm not available at 10 o'clock, I'm available at 2 o'clock, or I'm available at 11 o'clock tomorrow. And they say, well, gosh, I really need to meet at 10 o'clock. I say, well, unfortunately, I'm not available. Actually, it looks like I could do 2 o'clock tomorrow also. After you say no 3 times, 90% of the time, they're going to take one of your options, or they're going to rearrange their schedule to fit yours, right? Think about that. If you call the doctor, or let me rephrase that, you call the doctor's office and you say, hey, I'd like to speak with the doctor, I got a cough. They're like, well, the doctor's in an appointment. He's not available right now, or she's not available right now, right? You say, well, it's Bill, I got a cough, I need to speak with the doctor. Well, I can have the doctor's assistant's assistant call you in like 2 hours because they're in an appointment too, right? Are you hard to get a hold of when you're trying to protect your time, and easy to get a hold of when you're ready to pursue it, right? Because that's what business owners are, right? They're very, very protective of their time. And the reason why is because they're fully focused on accomplishing their goals, right? Their 411, right here. This is what I'm up to today. It's also what I'm going to be up to tomorrow. It's the monotony of success, right? And anyone that tries to get into my world, I have to say, is this helping me move this forward or not? Right? And there's time in my day where I'm not available. And then there's time in the day where I'm very available. But it's only after I've accomplished what's going to move my business forward so I can take care of the people that I'm trying to take care of. Does that make sense? Okay, what did we learn today? Give me 2 ahas and then we'll call it a day.
Have to be purposeful about my actions, be intentional,
Mm-hmm.
and protect my time.
Okay, perfect. One more.
I like when you said we're not in business to sell houses, we're in business to follow our schedule.
Yes, exactly. Good, good. I also got one, I'll finish with this one nugget. Guys, I was told yesterday, this is actually, I guess, according to new research, because Lawanda, thanks for sharing the surprise and delight. I've heard a lower number in the past, but according to new research, they say that in order to take a lead to a piece of business, it generally takes between 12 and 15 touches, which likely means they're going to blow you off a couple of times. They're not going to respond to your text a few times. They're not going to respond to your telephone call a few times. They might miss an appointment once, right? They're not going to return your phone call, right? They're not going to answer the phone a few times, right? And you just got to keep at it. Keep at it. Keep loving on it. Hey, Ebony, just want to let you know I'm here to answer any questions you have. We got some cool new loan programs. If you have any questions about it, let me know. Hey, I was thinking about you. I know you want to buy in Smyrna. I saw this really cool home in Smyrna that I think is roughly in your price range. Just was thinking about you, wanted to share it with you, right? Hey, I'm going to be in Smyrna today in an open house. Maybe you can swing by. I mean, you're just throwing little things out there. And every once in a while, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this woman has been chasing me down for 10 years. Right? And in that respect, you will earn the business. Remember, we don't get listings. We don't take listings. We earn listings. You earn the business. And many of you guys are ready to earn it. You've put in the work. Okay? All right. Y'all have an awesome day.
Can I make one comment before you close? I posted the PowerPoint presentation in the chat, the file. That was the initial file that I found online. It's a KW homebuyer seminar presentation. So I tweaked mine, but that's what I started with. I may have deleted some slides, added some slides, but everybody can sort of customize it the way they like. But that was the shell that I started with.
Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. We'll spend a little bit more time on this tomorrow, but I added a document called the high-level sample GPS to the Just PC Google Drive. under GPS, the GPS folder. There's one that's called High Level Sample GPS. It's probably the best GPS I've ever seen. So I'll go through that in detail a little bit later on. We'll probably go over it today during the Growth Mastermind for a bit. Or I'm sorry, the Growth Mastermind for a bit. Okay. Y'all have an awesome day. Go surprise and delight somebody and tell all of us what you did. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.